Rabble-rousers are grots forever spoiling for a fight, especially if they have mobs of their mean-spirited mates and beasts to back them up. These raging loons roam the underways of the realms, stirring up trouble, accompanied at all times by flights of drooling, snapping bat squigs. In this video, we'll be showing you how to paint up your rabble-rouser to battle ready. Then we'll be adding a few extra details to take it up to the next level with ease. If you're new to painting or want to brush up on your skills, you can check out the Citadel Colour Painting Essentials videos to learn all about paints and techniques. The paints we'll be using are on the screen right now. We also have a list of the additional equipment we've used, but you can use whatever brushes you feel most comfortable with, and you can swap out the medium with water. Before we start, we have built our model in two halves. We have the rabble-rouser itself on the base, and the squig skull and bat squigs on a sub-assembly peg. This is one of the easiest ways to paint these models as they fit together easily afterwards. Remember that this is our suggestion, and you can paint this all as one piece if that suits you better. Now we're ready for undercoating, and for this we've used Wraithbone. This is perfect for the contrast paints we'll be using, as well as a great start for the bone details we'll be painting for the squig skull. It's also a great idea to have a pot of Wraithbone to hand, so we can tidy up any mistakes or get an area painted up, ready for a lighter colour. We'll start by painting the skin of the grot himself with Gut Ripper Flesh. As we want to be neat when applying this colour but also get it covered quickly, we'll be using a small base brush. We want to apply this contrast paint quite heavily in small sections, so we get into all of those details and recesses. We can start with the face, then the arms, and finally his feet. Once you have all of those covered, clean off your brush, dry it off, and we can start removing any excess contrast that is pooling too heavily. This helps with how the finish will dry, but also make sure that we have an even coverage all over. When it's fully dry, we can paint the teeth and eyes with our pot of Wraithbone, so they are clean and sharp for any contrast paints later on. Next we'll use Corvus Black for the cloth details and nails on his feet. We'll apply this colour in a few thinned coats, just to build up that colour without having any lumps and streaks in the layers. Just remember to let each layer fully dry before applying the next, to get that smooth finish. A small base brush is best for the cloth, but you may find it's easier to use a small layer brush for its long creepy nails. Once those layers are dry, we can tidy up any ropes, mushrooms or bones on the model, ready for our next colour. With those colours down, we can use Skeleton Horde in two ways. We'll thin down 1 part Skeleton Horde with 1 part contrast medium. Then we'll apply this to any bones on both parts of the model and the mushrooms. Then we'll use it straight out the pot for any ropes and teeth. We want to apply this in the same way as we did with Gut Ripper Flesh, heavily but then removing any excess or pooling paint. Once that coat is dry, if you want to make some areas of bone darker, you can apply a lighter second coat into the recesses. Now we'll apply Dryad Bark to any of the wooden and leather details on the model. These may be small or near other colours that we've already painted, so we'll use a small layer brush here so we can get into all of those details easily. As we're painting this over a lighter undercoat, you may find you need 2 thinner coats to fully cover, and we should get a solid smooth colour. And don't worry if you're painting anything that is still undercoated, but just be careful around those details that we already have. Next we'll add Iron Warriors to any metal details, just like the weapons, tooth on the squig skull and the little trinket around his wrist. There aren't many of these details, so these will be painted quite quickly, but do be careful around the rest of the colours, so take your time. To get that solid metal coverage, you may need 2 to 3 thin coats over the other colours and undercoat. Once you have done your final metallic coat, we need to change our paint water, so we don't transfer any metallic flakes into the rest of our colours. With our paint water changed, we can move on to Blood Angel's Red. We'll use this for the bat squigs all over and the caps of the mushrooms. Just like with our contrast before, apply it heavily and remove the excess. We just want to make sure that the bat squigs have a nice solid coverage and some rich recess shading. So make sure your brush has no water in it before applying this colour, or it can dilute the contrast down. When it's dry, paint back over those teeth, eyes and spines with Wraithbone. You can even add little spots to the mushroom caps if you wish. To add some of that darker purple colour to the bat squig's wings, we'll thin down 1 part Naggaroth Night with 2 parts Lahmian Medium, and apply a few thinner coats. The first coat we'll apply all over the wing, being careful about how much we apply, as we want to colour the wings but not saturate them, so apply this in smaller amounts. Then the second coat will be stronger in colour now, but we will apply it to the middle and the tips of the wings, so it goes from a darker red to a darker purple in tone. And as our last base coat, we'll use Mechanicus Standard Grey for the stony cave base our model is standing on. Just be careful around his feet and cloth, so it's best to use a combination of different size brushes to get around and underneath those details. Now that is dry, it's a great time to paint that mushroom on the base with the colours we just used. Now we can start shading, and first we'll be using Nuln Oil for the Corvus Black, Iron Warriors and Mechanicus Standard Grey details. We'll apply this in small amounts, focusing on those details with the shade. It's okay though if you do get a small amount of this colour on the weapon handles and leather, as we'll be making this darker anyway. Just be careful around those bone and skin details the most. Next we'll apply Agrax Earthshade to the Dryad bark details and the teeth and eyes on the bat squigs. Then we'll recess shade the teeth on the squig skull, ropes, and we can also darken down the mushroom stems on the spine. This shade will give our bone details an extra grimy tone that seems perfect for the cave-dwelling Gloomspite Gits, so you can totally use this guide for a lot of your models in your army. With those paints dry, our Rabble Rouser is now battle ready. He looks like he's definitely going to start a scrap in his mob. You can stop here if you're happy with your model and pop it together, or you can carry on watching for a few extra paints to take your model to the next level. To take our metal details to that next level, we'll be highlighting them with Stormhost Silver. We'll be using a small layer brush here so we can get the sharpest point for our highlighting. To get that point on our brush, we'll roll and twist it on the palette, getting those bristles all together. This also helps control how much paint we're applying too. We only need to highlight those very strong edges of the weapon, making the dark metal look really battered and crudely made. Just give your paint water a quick change if it's got a lot of metallic flakes in it. Then we'll highlight the bones and the teeth on the squig skull with Wraithbone. Just pick out the most prominent areas and details, like those sharp edges on the big teeth and eye sockets. Only highlight as much as you want. The more you do, the more sharp and defined it will look, but it will take more time if you just want to start causing havoc on the battlefield. Then to finish off, we'll highlight the cloth and the bat squig's wings with Dawnstone. Just like before, we want a nice point to our brush, ready for those small lines on the cloth. When it comes to painting the wings, we can use the side of the brush to pick out the tips and edges, but less is more with these tiny little squigs. And with our model fully assembled, our Rabble Rouser is now finished and ready to shout up a storm of angry grots and hungry squigs. You can see our base is finished in Astrogranite, and if you'd like to learn more about basing your models, we have videos all about it. For more tutorials, tips and tricks, check out citadelcolour.com or head to your local Warhammer store where our amazing staff will be happy to help you. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!